let's get started on our C chord. Who remembers how to play their C chord? Yeah. Third finger, right, perfect. Third fret on the, what string is that close to the floor? A. The Upper Peninsula string, A. It's getting worse.
Warming up now.
Yeah, that's right. So, and we talked about strumming, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about kind of flicking your finger, hitting it with your fingernail of your index finger, and then with the fleshy part, the pad of your index finger on the way up. So let's just practice a nice steady strum to begin with, okay? Ready? Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down. The other way, down. There you go. Good. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now keep the steady beat. 2 and 3 and down, up. There you go. Now you, what's your name?
Agnes.
Magnus?
Yeah.
Okay. So try to keep it tucked into the crook of your arm, and just try to move your wrist, not your whole arm. Flick your wrist like you're turning a doorknob. See, look how much my hand is moving. So I'm just doing it pretty much with my wrist. And give that little flick, and then your fingers won't get stuck in between the strings. Now the other thing I want you guys to do is give a little bit of an accent. See if you can listen to what I'm doing and see where I'm accenting. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and which two numbers am I accenting on? What beats? 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Can you hear what beats I'm accenting? What ones? 2 and the 4, right. So as we start playing along, if we can put a little bit of emphasis on the 2 and on the 4, then it kind of rocks the song along a little, gives it a little pizzazz, okay? And it also helps keeps us from strumming too fast. Because the tendency is, if you're just strumming all equal emphasis on each string, it just keeps going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. It's like a runaway ukulele train, right? So so we'll keep that in mind. Now, switching chords between F and C. Who can play their F chord for me? Yep. My ukuleles, it's the yellow dots. You want to use, what's your name? Ellie? Ellie, you want to use your index finger. There you go. And then your middle finger. There you go. You got nice long fingers. So let's try strumming between the F. F. Accent on the 2 and 4. You can head bang a little bit if you want. That's how I lost my hair, was head banging too much. Is that what happened to you too? Yeah? No. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and... Go to the C chord now. And the key is to try to keep that strum. Now what are you playing? He was being fancy and playing a C major 7. And that's it. On purpose. Back to the F. Takes a little while to get back to that F, doesn't it? C chord. We love the C chord. F chord. C chord. F chord. C chord. F chord. I like how you're not looking. C chord. That's good. F chord. C chord. F chord. C chord. F chord. C chord. F chord. C. F. C. F. Magnus got it. So the what's the hardest chord to get to? The F chord, right?
Yeah.
That's the hardest. Does anyone have a good little trick they were using so they knew how to get to it easily? What? Feeling where you were. Yeah, you were doing a good job of not looking at the fretboard. That's good. Anybody else? What I like to do between those two chords is, we're using our first finger in the first fret, right? And our second finger in the second fret, and then our third finger for that C on the third fret. So what I like to do if I'm just switching back and forth between those chords is kind of have these two kind of ready, okay? So all I have to do is just put them down over the strings. Okay, rather than okay. And what helps too is if you use your index finger as an anchor finger. So if you're playing your C chord and you have to go to an F chord, you can put this one down just a split second before, and it kind of lets you know where you're at on the fretboard, right? So this is your see what I'm doing with mine? I'm putting that down just a little bit before. Oh wow, man. All right? And then it helps me know where I'm at on the fretboard. So, what's your name?
Brody.
Brody, that's right. So, now Brody was doing a good job of trying not to look at his fretboard. Now, you missed the chord once in a while, right? But you could hear it and find out you're going, oh, something sounds wrong, and then you take a look. So the more you can start to wean yourself off of looking at it, the more you can hold it out straight, the easier it'll be to get that nice arch on your fingers, and pretty soon the more quickly you'll switch the chords, okay? Now, I know we're just 10 minutes into our first lesson, and you guys aren't pros yet, all right? But that's okay. We just got started, so it takes a little while.
Oh, I got 50 more minutes left.
50 more minutes, you're right. Oh my God, 49. Okay, so let's practice. Let's play Ain't No Bugs on Me.
Yay.
Wait, is there a bug on me? Okay, good. We're going to switch between the F and the C chord. We're going to try to do a little bit of an accent on what two beats?
2 and 4.
2 and the 4. Okay? So here we go. Get ready with your F chord.
All right.
1, 2, start on the F chord. 1, 2. Well, there ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs, see, on me. There may be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs F on me. Oh, the Junie bug comes in the month of June. Lightning bug comes in May. The bed bug comes any old time. gonna stay. Oh, there ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me, see. There may be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me. Now, are you starting to hear that it's going to switch there somewhere? The nice thing about a 2-chord song, if you're on one chord, it's going to switch. There's only one other option to go to. So, well, a peanut was sitting on a railroad track. His heart was all aflutter. Along came a choo-choo down the track. He said, "Choo choo, peanut butter." Well, there ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me. There may be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me. We had a cat down on the farm. She ate a ball of yarn. And when the baby kittens were born, they all had sweaters on. Well, there ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me. There may be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me. I'll do another verse here. A doctor fell into a well and broke his collarbone. I think he should tend to the sick and leave the well alone. Well, there ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me. There may be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me. Oh, there ain't no bugs on me. There ain't no bugs on me. There may be bugs on some of you mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me. And not enough. Woo! How's that switching?
Good.
Yeah, it looks like it got better as you went along. You were rocking it out back there, man. He's like, that's great. All right, let's do one. Ooh, do you remember the C7th chord?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what? What is it compared to the C chord?
You have to put it on this finger.
Yeah? And what fret?
On this one.
The first fret, right?
Uh-huh.
It's got that sound, that kind of funky sound, right? The C is like, right? The C7th is like, yeah, it's got that bluesy, funky sound, right?
No, it doesn't.
So this song, Deep in the Heart of Texas. Now this we're gonna have to do a little bit of hand rhythm with it. Okay, now it's kind of hard to clap, but here's what you can do. Let me show you how it goes. Did we do this last time?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then you guys should be experts at it, right? So it's going to be, the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky is wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. All right,
See, that's a different melody than I'm used to.
Is it?
Yeah, that melody, like the chords are the same. I was singing at home one week.
Why do you usually sing the melody? There was another one I was doing.
Stars at night are big
And bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Yeah, I can see where it goes at. There was one I was doing last night. It was in Grand Ledge, down in the valley. And someone goes, I do a different melody. Yeah, I don't know what. I was singing it a different way. There's a lot of songs like that, you know. It just depends how you learn them. So we'll do it this way. But it's the same chords.
It is the same chords.
This, because I'll get mixed up if I try to. The stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart. Forget it. I gotta sing higher than do it that way.
I'm sorry.
Boy, now I'm like totally
The
messed up.
stars at night
Are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Yeah.
Okay, so get you back on that. I'm singing better with a microphone than this thing.
All right, here we go. So let's practice trying to get that. And then, yeah. Now don't hit the little ukulele too hard, right? Just enough to keep the beat. Or you could go. But it's like walking and chewing gum at the same time. It could be hard. All right, here we
I
go.
can barely handle two hands at once. Want me to
That's
throw my
right.
feet?
That's right. Well, wait, I haven't taught you the kick dance to it yet. All right, chord, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're doing a little faster here. Well, the stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart, C7, of Texas. The prairie sky is wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas, the sage in bloom is like perfume. Deep in the heart of Texas, reminds me of the one I love. Deep in the heart of Texas, the coyotes wail all along the trail. Deep in the heart of Texas, the rabbits rush around the brush. Deep in the heart of Texas, the cowboys cry, "Ki-yippee-yi." Deep in the heart of Texas, the doggies bawl and bawl and bawl. Deep in the heart of Texas. First verse again, the stars at night. The stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie sky is wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas. Oh, what did I do there? Well, that was kind of neat little ending. What did I do?
Shaving a haircut.
What's that? Shave and a haircut. Ah, there you go. You remember. Shave and a haircut. 2 bits.
I see Roger Rabbit.
There you go. Did they do that in Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't seen that since it first came out.
That's how he gets to come out of hiding. Because no cartoon can resist.
Oh,
The ending.
that's right. So what I'm doing is I'm just going from the F, C7, F. You want to try that together? So we hit once on the C7, okay? So here we go. F, C7, F. And if you notice, what else am I doing there? I've got I'm muting the strings a little bit with my hand. So I'm going da, 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 da. Ooh. So if you just barely touch your hand on the strings, it stops it. Let's try that. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, good. 1, 2, 3. Good. 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 2, 3. Sound like a train. Good. 2, 3. Good. 2, 3. Good. 2, 3. Good. 2, 3. All right. So that's called a mute. Okay. And that just, it's really nice when you're doing, sometimes you want to end a song and not let it ring out. You want to just go, stop it. Or there might be somewhere in the song you want to stop it. Or the shave and a haircut before you go to the C7, you can give it a little stop. Da, 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 da. And then it makes it stand out a little more rather than, or it could be like this. All right. Ukulele is a very percussive instrument. Okay, it can sound like a little drum, and all those little mutes and everything really bring out a lot of the character of the ukulele.
Even though it's a stringed instrument.
What's that?
Even though it's a stringed instrument.
It is a stringed instrument, you're right, but it has some percussion. It's got that little bit of a beat to it. Yeah, percussive instruments are not necessarily drums. A piano is in the percussion family, marimba is drums, of course. So, and the ukulele, I'm putting in that. I don't know if anyone else will, but I am. This is my class, so I can do what I want.
You're right,
Oh, you guys want to try playing in a waltz beat? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? 3/4 time. You know what I mean by that? So in the regular beat, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. The accent was on what? 2, 3, 4. 2 and the 4. On a waltz beat, we're going 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Follow this. Okay. Do a turnaround. Okay. So our strum will be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. See if you can play along with that. We're on the F chord. So this one's just 2 chords also. So let's see if we can keep a steady beat in 3/4 time. Down in the valley sea so low, hang your head over, hear the F wind blow. Hear the blow, dear. Hear the sea wind blow. Hang your head over. Hear the wind blow. Right, yeah. Roses love sunshine. Violets love dew. Angels in heaven know I love you. Back to F. Know I love you, dear. Know I love see you. Angels in heaven know I love you. A lot of verses to this thing. Let's skip a couple. Let's see. Let's go to write me a letter. Write me a letter. Send it, see, by mail. Send it in care of the Bath Township Jail. The Bath Township Jail, dear. The Bath Township Jail. Send it in care of the Bath Township Jail. I didn't know those. How did they even know about the Bath Township Jail when they wrote this?
Now we have them.
Down in the valley seems so low. Hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Hear the wind blow, dear. Hear the wind blow. Hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Stop here. I know. All right, let's play something more perky.
Ooh.
Woo! Pay me my money down. That'd be a good one.
Pay me my money down.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's another old folk song, but
Catchy too.
It's supposed to have started out of St. George Islands, the stevedores.
did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a.
They
Back
wanted
in,
to be
what?
sure
This
that
one's
they're-
a catchy.
1600s, 1700s or
1700s,
something.
I think.
Yeah, and people still do it, you know, like Springsteen did it on that Cedar Sessions album, and yeah, it's some of those old tunes like that just stay around forever, and they change too as the years go by. You know, they'll add new verses or. So this one is just going to go like this. Well, I thought I heard Captain say, pay me my money down. Tomorrow is our sailing day. Pay me my money down. All right. So that's the strum. So we're going to pick it up a little bit. Accent on the 2 and the 4. All right. He's ready to rock out. All right.
Start with the F.
Start with the F. You're right. Cool. Here we go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, F chord. Well, I thought I heard my captain say, pay me my money down. Tomorrow is our sailing day. Pay me my money down. Pay me, owe me, Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. As soon as the boat is clear of the bar. Pay me my money down. Knock me down with the end of a spar. Pay me my money down. Pay me, owe me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. If I'd have been a rich man's son, pay me my money down. I'd sit by the river and watch it run. Pay me my money down. You pay me, you owe me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. First verse. Well, I thought I heard the captain say, pay me my money down. Tomorrow is our sailing day. Pay me my money down. Pay me, you owe me. Pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Here we go, end. Wow.
That was
We
good.
all ended at the same time. Amazing. Amazing. I'm taking you guys on tour with me.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, we might go to Langsburg.
Ooh,
All the big places. Langsburg, Ovid, and Elsie.
the fun cities.
Yeah. Big time.
Big time cities.
Big time. We're on our way. We're making it. Big time. We played, our trio played in Fowler
Neat.
Saturday night. It was a fundraiser for school. It was pretty fun. Now Fowler, I mean, you kind of almost get lost in there.
I grew up out there.
Did ya?
Oh, yeah. I went to PW.
Did you?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, we had a good time. The other thing too, as we're going along these next few weeks, I forget whenever our last class is, but the Ukulele Kings are going to be here and we're going to do a little concert, which everybody's invited to, right? But what I'd like to do is if we can work up a couple nice 3-chord Christmas songs or something, maybe we can open up the show. Yeah, that'd be fun. So now it's time for
Do the G7.
the G7.
Dun dun dun.
There you go, that's it. Give it a big build up here. So if you look at the G7 compared to the F chord, what's the same about the G7 compared to the F? Here's our F chord, right? And the G7th, we're going to keep this index finger above that first fret on the, what string is that? The E string. So what we do is we lift up, if we're going from the F to the G7, we're going to lift up our middle finger and then we're going to pivot our hand towards the headstock on our index finger. Okay? So we've got the F. Then we pivot up to the G7. And we put the, yep, you got the right fingers. We put the middle finger on the second fret on the C string, and the third finger, perfect, on the second fret on the A string. On your ukulele, you'll have 3 blue dots.
Is it like this?
Yes, it is. So the key to this is, remember on the F how we wanted to just touch with our fingertips, so we just played the one string and didn't lean over on the other string. So it's even just a little bit more challenging with the 3 fingers. Whoa, see. That's my new favorite
As
chord.
illustrated.
Yes.
Or as demonstrated.
Okay? But the key is getting that little pivot. Because if you don't pivot your hand, you can't get these two fingers on here very easily. Actually, see already, I feel it like it's hurting right here. So you want to F, pivot to the G7. Pivot back to the F. Pivot to the G7. Now what you're going to find too, look at what my arm is doing. Here's the F. Watch my elbow. So I'm getting my wing out there a little bit, and that helps me pivot my hand.
I just noticed that your hand is under your tuner and mine is hitting my tuner. Am I doing something wrong here or is my fingers wrong?
Maybe you just don't have to pivot quite as much. And you've got pretty big hands too.
Yes.
I remember you were going to get a nice new tenor ukulele for Christmas.
That'd be wonderful. I wonder who my secret Santa is this year.
No.
What?
Yeah.
That would be pretty
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
cool,
I
man.
think that'd be like the perfect Christmas present. All right. So here, let's press that C to the F, or the F to the G7. Okay. Pivot to the G7. Back to the F. G7. F. Now remember, get that little pivot. And get a little sore there. Now if we want to go to the C, what do we have in common with the C chord? Nothing exact, right? But we already have our ring finger on the second fret on the A string. So all we do is slide it up to the third. Slide it back down to the G7. Slide up to the C. Okay, give yourselves a break. So the less you have to pick your hand up off the fretboard and start over again, the easier it's going to be to switch the chords. Okay? So that's why, like for that C, rather than playing G7 and then going C, if you just lift these fingers up and slide right up. Okay? It makes a smoother, more efficient change. So let's do this. Let's practice switching between C, F, and G7. And then we'll play this. This will be, we'll work on playing this song. Okay? So I'll call out the chords C, F, and G7. And we'll all switch along together here. Ready? Okay, Eddie Van Halen over here. Here we go. 1, 2, start on the C chord. Get that little rocket in the 2 and the 4. F chord. G7. F. F. Whoa. C. Slide down to the G7. Slide up to the C. F. G7. C. Now we're going to play this song. Ain't nothing in the world that I like better. F. Bacon and lettuce and homegrown tomatoes. G7. Up in the morning, out in the garden. See, get you a ripe one. Don't get a hard one. Plant 'em in the spring, eat 'em in summer. F. All winter without 'em. Culinary bummer. G7. I forget all about the sweating and digging. See, every time I go and pick me a big one. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? G7. The only good thing that money can't see, that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Play your C. F. G7. C. You can go out and eat, and that's for sure. F. There's nothing that a homegrown tomato won't do. G7. Put 'em in a stew. C. You can make your very own tomato juice. Eat 'em with eggs, eat 'em with gravy, and eat 'em with beans. Pinto or G7. Put 'em on the side, put 'em in the sea. Put a homegrown tomato on a hot cake griddle. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? There's only two things that money can't buy, that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. So I'm not calling out the chords anymore, right? F. Although I just called it out there. G7. C. Now, if I was to change this life I lead, I'd be Johnny Tomato Seed. 'Cause I know what this country needs. Homegrown tomatoes in every yard you see. When I die, don't bury me in a box in a cemetery. Out in the garden would be much better, 'cause I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? There's only two things that money can't buy, that's true love and homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? There's only two things that money stop on the sea, that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. All right. So, yeah, so what I wanted to do was stop saying the chords so you can start. Do you hear that it's going to change? Okay. With this song, if you hear it's going to change, it's just going to change to the very next chord in the progression, because this doesn't change the order of the chords the whole way through. So that's why it's a good one, I think, to practice switching between those chords. You don't have to worry about going back and forth. You can just do C, F, G7 all the way through. And you can think a little more about your strum and everything, right? Because you just know those chords are going to go in that order the whole darn song. So, how's your G7th, do you think? How's that coming along? Okay.
Hit and miss.
What's that?
Hit and miss. miss.
Hit and miss. Well, and here again, you know, this is the first time you've played it, so it takes a while. It takes a while to get your fingers to ring cleanly on it. And also at first, until you build up the calluses, the fingers are a little tender too, right? Everybody kind of feeling that. No, not. He's got it. He's got tough fingers. So let's do another song with those 3 chords. And when you go home tonight and all week, you know, as you practice 8 hours a day with your ukulele, but you can work on switching between those chords. And when it comes to practice too, I joke about 8 hours a day, but I think a lot of times we think, well, boy, I've got to really set aside a half hour or an hour and really work on it. You know, really, if you take 5 or 10 minutes and you do it, that's better than taking a half hour, an hour and not doing it, right? So just take a little bit at a time and keep, the other thing we were talking about last night was keep your ukulele out in an accessible place, okay? So, and don't bang it against the mirror. But if you have it, if you're sitting there watching TV, you know, if you have your ukulele by the couch, well, you're liable just to pick it up rather than your phone. Pick up your ukulele and just practice your strumming or your chord changing or whatever. You know, I often have it next to my computer. One, I need a break from the computer, or I'm going to figure out a song, you know, for something. You can have one just about anywhere. I probably don't recommend the bathroom so much. You know.
The shower.
Or the shower, that's right. Absolutely. So, you know, there, I don't think you need a ukulele. But yeah, keep it out. Don't have it always locked up in the case because you'll forget about it, right? So let's do Blowing in the Wind. And this has the same chords, but if you look at it, it changes a lot. It's not in the same order. So we go from C to F, C to F, C to F, C to F. Well, then we throw in a G7, okay? And a lot of C to Fs. Then F to G7 to C to F, okay? So it's a little different. You can't quite go on autopilot as far as the order of the chords you're changing. And here again, I think the more you play, the more you'll hear, okay, the first thing you'll hear is it's going to change chords. Maybe I don't know what chord, but I know it's going to change. And then as you play more, you'll go, oh, it's going to change a chord, and it's going to go to this chord, okay? So let's play this one, and we'll call it a night here. So let's do a little different intro on this. Okay, most of the songs we've just been doing a 1-chord intro, right?
Yeah.
Yep. You got it. Good. It's good to have that affirmation there. All right. So what I often like to do for a intro is either take the 2 lines, last 2 lines, or the last line of a chorus, right? Because what usually follows a chorus in a song? A verse, right? So if you want to do a little intro rather than just, rather just play 1 chord, well, if you play just the chords to the chorus, then it would naturally start off singing the verse. Does that make sense? Okay. So now we're getting into the heavy duty stuff here now. We're getting a fancy intro. So here's the intro. And then what you can do is just kind of hum it in your head. You can go, and then you can start singing. How many roads? Have you guys heard this song before? No.
No.
It's a pretty famous song. A guy named Bob Dylan. Yeah, he sang this song. Can't sing it like that. But we won't sing it like that. Great songwriter, not the greatest singer in the world. But, so let's try. Let's work on doing that little chorus as our intro. I think that'll be kind of nice. This is arranging now. We're arranging this song. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, F, G7, C, F, F, G7, and C. How many F roads must see a man walk down? Before you get F, call him C, a man. Yes, and how many F C's must see a white dove sail before she F sleeps in G7 the sand? Yes, and C, how many F times C those cannonballs fly before their F forever C band? Here's the chorus. F, the answer, G7, my friend. C is blowing in F the wind. The answer, G7, is blowing in the wind. Lots of switching here, isn't there? How many F times must see a man look up before he can F see the sea, the sky? Yes, and how many F ears must see one man have before he can F hear people G7 cry? See, yes, and how many F yes will it see take till he knows that too many F people see have died? Here's our chorus. F, the answer, G7, my friend. C is blowing in the wind. The answer, G7, is blowing C in the wind. One more verse. How many F years must see a mountain exist before it is F washed to the sea? Yes, and how many F years can some sea people exist before they're F allowed to G7 be free? C, yes, and how many F times can a sea man turn his head and pretend that he F just doesn't see? F, the answer, G7, my friend. C is blowing in F the wind. The answer, G7, is blowing C in the wind. All right.
Let's call it a night.
Let's call it a night. He's got it. So you know that we have, so these are the same 3 chords, but they were switching back and forth in all different order. So that's a good practice for switching back and forth between those chords. Okay? And for you guys that haven't heard this song before, you can look it up on YouTube or whatever. I mean, there's zillions of different versions of this. What's that?
I said, watch Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Forrest Gump, that's right, it's in that, but there's a bunch of, kind of everybody's done this song, so. All right, so what did we work on today? Which chords?
G7.
C7. What else?
F.
F and C and
G7.
G7. We worked on switching between all those chords, and we worked on the strum with an accent on the
2 and 4.
2 and the 4, and then we worked on a waltz strum with an accent on the
1.
All right. So that's all you can practice on this week. Jana, she's been doing videos, so I usually get those up in a couple days or something by the weekend, and you can go back and review that.
What's my?
All right. So that was fun.